We're back with soccer again, and we're going to be discussing the Amajita and their first game in the FIFA Under-20 tournament and how they performed against France. And with me here is Segodi and Mustafa. I'm still Afolabi. It's another football show. Welcome to all our fans.
Yeah, welcome to our South African fans who supported our channel. We're now at 506 views, thanks mostly to you guys. We got almost 200 views, 200 subscriptions this month, and we now have Segodi, who's actually on our website, one of the people who subscribe to our channel, and he reached out and said he wants to talk about African football, and that's what our channel is about. So he's here. Welcome, Segodi. Any shout out to our fans in South Africa before we talk about the bad news?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here, and talking about football is my enthusiasm. And I hope today we'll do a great show.
Yeah, we have two pieces of bad news, but the first one would be yesterday South Africa lost to France. I would say the word I would use is France edged out South Africa 2-1. They edged them out. But if you look at the game, it's very clear to see that the level of technicality on the French team is second to none all over the world. I know a lot of our fans were like, "Oh, we're going to beat France. And I kept on saying, it's not a down to South Africa, because South Africa is a good team. But when you're playing France, you're playing some of the top quality football. And we saw it because South Africa's defense was fantastic. But the French people still found ways to score. They found ways to unlock South Africa's defense, which is very, very difficult. The French people had to play. Who was that guy from France? The black guy. Is he number 9 or number 7 that has the high top hair? I forgot his name.
Yeah. The guy with lots of chances.
That guy that looks like a bulldozer with the dreads. Those guys were powerful. And as South Africa was shutting down, closing up, not giving them lanes, they would push the fullbacks, push to find space. And also they made very good connection passes, the French. But one thing I noticed about that game, the reason France was able to win is because South Africa was sitting back a little bit in defense. But if you sit back on France, all they'll do is shoot from 30 yards out. I think one of their goals was a long shot, or they'll shoot a ball and it'll be a rebound and shoot. So they find ways to score. And also later in the game, when they got their second goal, they had to work very hard. But through combination passing and mass attack, they were able to break down South Africa's defense. South Africa had a missed chance. Who was the guy that missed that goal? The one with the blonde hair. What's his name? Segodi.
I think it's Litaku.
Yeah, South Africa played well. Yeah, they had a chance to score, but they weren't able to capitalize off their finishing. Goalkeeper played fantastic. Defense played well. So what you saw with South Africa, it doesn't get any more difficult than France. And if South Africa can lose to France 2-1, it shows that they're one of the best squads in the world. We saw that Morocco beat Spain. And also we saw Nigeria. Nigeria didn't do too well. So South Africa's right up there in the mix. The only thing is that they're going to have to still have that same problem of having a clinical number 9 who can score. And also when they're going to meet teams like France, I'm trying to think of who else will have a very bloody attack. Whatever European teams have a very high attack. We saw Spain.
The Colombia team looks very good.
Yeah, and the Colombian teams like Colombia and Brazil. South Africa's going to be pushed to its limit, but I think they can do well. I think they can qualify in this group, but they're going to have to beat the U.S. because the U.S. destroyed New Caledonia. What are your thoughts, Segodi? Then we'll go to Afolabi.
Right. I have mixed feelings about the game, yesterday game. We lost, yes, but I was very impressed with our boys. They really defended well. They were building from the back in the first half. They did so well. Tyler Smith was a monster at the back. But playing, losing to France is not a bad thing at all. Because if you look at France, the way they play football out of this world. I think they are the favorites to win this competition. Absolutely.
I think so, yeah. They're the favorites. I was telling you guys, a lot of guys are like, "Oh no, we're going to show France." I'm not saying that France dominated the game, but if you can beat France, you can win the whole tournament. Basically, that's the idea. And what we'll see is that, like you said, Tyler Smith played fantastic. His work rate was unbelievable. He was also helping out in midfield. Did you notice that, Afolabi?
Yes, I noticed. He was very, very good in that game. And I want to give a shout out to their goalkeeper. He made some excellent saves to keep the score very, very tidy. I think South Africa deserves credit because they might just have played against the pre-tournament favorites in France. And like you said at the beginning of the show, the France team, they have very good technical players. who can thread the ball through the eye of a needle in very tight spaces. They were really that good. It's just that as time went on, they started to push the South African defense deeper into their half, and that gave them opportunity to be shooting at range. So I feel in subsequent games, South Africa could be a little bit more braver and not show too much respect to whoever, and actually play the ball long, come out of their defense and push and peg back the opponent. France was good though, but I feel with a little bit more bravery, the South Africans could have pushed them back. They sat a little too deep, and that invited a lot of pressure.
And usually that worked. But so Cody, we were talking about this before, because a lot of South African players have played in Europe, but you play teams in Africa, like teams like Nigeria, maybe you haven't played Senegal. That's the only team, but teams like Nigeria, and who else? Some of the Congo and Morocco, even Cape Verde. They, if you sit back on them, they're not able to break down defenses the way so. So now you're finally seeing a team that can use the European style of football, where they have sort of like 4 or 5 guys at the box. They don't even have to rely on a number 9, but they'll just keep passing the ball and looking for tight spaces, because South Africa didn't give a lot of space. But against a team like France, even a small space is a mistake. So in European football, what might look like is a small space is a big space for those types of guys. You understand what I'm trying to say? But if it had been against the Nigerian team, Nigeria would not have been able to score against that South African team. So what you guys did was you met a team, and South Africa was holding France. But eventually, France's ability to distribute the ball and do invert, their players can invert. They find ways to move about and then finally break down the defense. And when I say break down the defense, it doesn't mean they scored a ton of goals, but they found a way to find space to get shots on goal. What do you think, Segodi?
Yeah. I think, if you look at second half, we gave France so much respect, we couldn't hold on to the ball. Those guys worked the ball so good, and there's no way you can keep up with that type of ball playing, because you're going to get so tired chasing the ball. They were so good. It was crazy. They were so good.
That guy from France that had the dreads, that guy was big. The guy in midfield, he was pushing. You don't talk about him. I forgot his name. Do you know his name? You know the guy I'm talking about. There were 2 players specifically.
The tall guy.
Yeah, that tall guy. He looks like he's 35 years old. Yeah, that guy was doing a lot of work in the mid.
You mean for France?
Yeah. There was
I think it's Anthony Bimon. That's his name, Anthony Bimon.
Yeah, that guy was very powerful.
He scored the first goal.
Yeah, he scored the first. So, and like you said, South Africa started showing a little bit too much respect. And once France said, it's okay, you want to sit back on us, we still have ways. Like you said, Afolabi, just picking off shots from distance. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, that's the only area that I feel South African team can improve, because if you defend for so long, your defenders get tired from pressure. So a little mistake can cost them. If they were brave enough to push back the French defense by not sitting too deep, I think they could have caused the French team some problems, because most of these teams that attack all the time, and they have good technical players. If you don't test them, you may not know how good they are defensively, and they might be vulnerable for all you know.
Press and then try to do an offside trap, and also be ready for. I'm sure South Africa has drilled for counterattacks.
Exactly.
Because they had some counterattacks in the first half, and they were using their wings a little bit. But also, we have to remember, maybe it was match fitness too. And I heard that South Africa didn't have friendlies to get ready for this tournament. They created
some dangerous situations. In fact, that is one of those situations that led to their goal, the penalty kick. They were able to create some dangerous situations. It's just that it was not many, and it was not sustained. So I feel in the next game, I feel they're going to whip Caledonia, because they're the beating boys in that group. USA beat them 9-1. I think South Africa beat them.
I don't think South Africa scoring 9 goals because they're a defensive team.
No, they can't.
I see them winning 3-0.
Yes, I think qualification will come down to goal difference. Who beats Caledonia the most?
Yeah, so that means South Africa has to beat the US.
Exactly. They have to beat the US. And also,
US is an attacking team also.
Yeah.
So South Africa is going to have to be brave against the US and play.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They will have to be a little braver than they were against France. They will have to take risks.
Last thoughts to go to on the game. What things you noticed? Any insights do you have from the game?
Well, like what I noticed is Afolabi is correct. We gave France so much respect because if you could see 2 times that we attacked France, we cut open their defense.
Yeah.
I think the coach made a mistake by not bringing on Mabena, but bring Bartman. If you could have brought like this little like a diminutive Mabena who can turn defenders upside down, we could have given France a really tough time because we had chances. Even before they scored the second goal, you saw that we could have taken our goal.
Oh, yeah. So if they brought him in, they would have given up some size, but they would have had more mobility and speed and quickness, which is what you need to use against this French team.
Yes.
But it was a good game. So we're going to be back later this week to focus on, because who are they playing? New Caledonia?
Yes, New Caledonia. I think on the 3rd.
I don't even know if we need to
on the 3rd of October.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to do it. Should we do a show on that one, or should we wait for the U.S. one? We'll see. Because we have other stories to talk about. We're going to be talking about, there's African Nations Cup qualifiers again. And now these matches are very important because South Africa has lost 3 points. So these games are important. So let's segue